If you are looking for a powerful budget rugged phone, the Vernee Active is one of the options to check out. The highlights of this phone include a rugged IP68 and MIL810 certified design, 128GB of internal storage, 6GB of RAM, and more. My name is Linus, and here is the full Vernee Active review. At the moment, the phone costs about $300, but I will leave a discount code along with other show notes in the video description down below. The phone ships with just a charger and the USB cable. There are no extras included. It is obvious that the Vernee Active is a rugged phone since it is a bit thicker and heavier than the usual smartphone. Still, this is not the thickest rugged phone out there, and it is fairly compact. I also found the phone to sit comfortably in the hand due to rounded edges on the back. The phone uses a metal frame, quality metal buttons, and a carbon fiber-like finish on the back. The Vernee Active has IP68 rating for water and dust resistance. Also, it has MIL810 rating. That means that the phone is salt, dust, humidity, rain, vibration, solar radiation, transport, and thermal shock resistant. It has a jack, USB Type-C ports, and the Hyper Dual SIM card slot are covered with flaps, which is unsurprising. However, I found that the charging part is quite hard to open. The 5.5-inch display is covered with a Gorilla Glass, and I found it to be pretty nice and sharp for everyday use, but it could be slightly brighter. You do get an 8-megapixel selfie shooter on the front, but I'm disappointed that there is no LED notification light. This is such a simple feature every phone should have. The capacitive buttons are not backlit either, which is kind of disappointing. As far as camera goes, we are looking at a 13-megapixel shooter. I found the fingerprint scanner to be very fast and accurate. Actually, this is one of the fastest scanners in a budget phone. Finally, the loudspeaker can get really loud, and it's pretty good, but definitely not the best I've heard. Now, the specs. The phone is really powerful on paper, and that translates into a great real-life performance, even if you play 3D games on the highest graphics settings that require quite a lot of resources. I found that there were just a few minor skipped frames, but I can't really complain about that. That's why I can assert that the Vernee Active performs well in the gaming department, and I didn't notice any overheating issues. Same can be said about daily performance, since we have a stock Android 7 with no bloatware. I like that the phone is smooth and fast and responsive no matter what you do with it. In terms of extra features, you can customize the navigation bar or use a few gesture controls, but that's about it. I like that Vernee didn't implement many useless features that I would not use anyway, but what I did find useful is a hardware key that triggers a quick settings menu. It's actually really convenient in practice, and I got used to using it in no time. Overall, I like that Vernee didn't implement many useless features that I would not use anyway, but they concentrated on making a fast phone for an average user. Daylight image quality is quite good for a budget rugged phone, but in general it could be better for a $300 phone. There could be more detail and sharpness in some of the shots, but as always I could only test the camera on a cloudy day since it's still winter. Night image quality does not really impress, but my main concern is that the camera app refuses to focus from time to time. This is a software issue that hopefully will be fixed in the future. Selfies could look a lot sharper and have more detail. 1080p video quality is about average, as the footage could look sharper. Also, I found that the continuous autofocus does not always work. My biggest frustration, however, is that sound is being recorded mostly to the left channel. I'm recording a video with the Vernee Active smartphone, and this is handheld footage. Today is another winter day. Another frustration is that selfie videos can be recorded at only 480p resolution and the quality of footage is bad. Not that great. This is handheld footage. I'm holding the phone in one hand in horizontal position, so this is how the video will look like. Call quality could be slightly better to be honest, but that may be due to water-resistant earpiece. Other connectivity options like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, or GPS work just fine. In terms of sensors, you get just a few, but the list includes a gyroscope, meaning that the phone is compatible with 360 content. I managed to get over 10 hours of screen on time on the Vernee Active phone. It's a great result and you'll be able to use the phone for at least a couple of days. However, I noticed that the cell standby drains more power than it should, which is a little bit frustrating. On a positive note, the supplied fast charger works well and it can fully charge the phone in just 1.5 hours. The Vernee Active is a pretty solid and one of the most powerful budget phones you can get for the price. However, I wish it had a slightly better camera, flaps were a bit easier to open, and the display was a little bit brighter. I was also disappointed with the sound recording quality in video recording mode, and the call quality is just average. Finally, there is no LED notification light, and the capacitive buttons are not backlit. On the other hand, the Vernee Active offers so much value for the price, as you get a lot of processing power including 128GB of internal storage and 6GB of RAM. Also, the phone handles 3D games well and it is fast on the daily basis thanks to stock Android. I also like the design and build quality, extensive list of rugged properties of the device, good battery life, and a fast charging feature. At the end of the day, there are some shortcomings to consider, but the Vernee Active is still a good option if you are looking for a powerful, rugged budget phone. But what do you guys think about this device? Drop me a comment down below, and also drop me a comment down below if you have any questions about this phone, and as always, like the video if you liked it, please subscribe to the channel for more content like this. It was Linus, thank you for watching, and see you soon.